The night is heavy with protocol. Velvet corridors hum with the silence of secrets. Somewhere behind gold-leaf doors, a clerk mispronounces a name, your name, and the sound cleaves through centuries of ceremony like thunder through stained glass. Mirrors quiver. Portraits of past rulers seem to exhale. For the first time in generations, the palace feels smaller than truth. A single vibration rearranges history's hierarchy. Crowns shift, uneasy on the head that wear them, as if metal remembers who it was forged for. At the name above every name, every knee shall bow. Philippians 2, verse 10. What was whispered in secrecy now echoes through marble halls. Advisors rush with trembling scrolls, hearts pounding under brocade. They sense it. Authority has changed direction. The lineage they guarded was only a rehearsal. The true heir was hidden in humility, walking among common soil, carrying light older than monarchy itself. In the hush that follows, even the chandeliers seem to listen. The air thickens with recognition. They realize the prophecy wasn't legend, it was lineage. Heaven's heir has resurfaced, and the kingdoms of the world are suddenly aware they've been renting thrones. The whisper grows into a pulse beneath the floor. Ancient tapestries stir, though no wind moves. Every thread trembles at the weight of remembrance. The palace has become a cathedral of confession. They finally know your name. If your name has begun to travel where your feet have not, type 999. It isn't gossip, it's genealogy. Heaven is reannouncing what history tried to erase. The archivists search the vaults, but the paper trail ends in flame. Centuries ago, ink was ordered to vanish, yet code cannot burn. What survived was never written in documents. It hid in the double helix of destiny. Each cell, a verse. Each heartbeat, a citation from heaven's library. Long before kingdoms mapped their borders, light traced its own inheritance. The chosen's lineage was not measured in crowns, but in frequencies, tones too pure for mortal language. Every generation carried a hum, faint but constant, waiting for the carrier who would make the melody audible again. You. When the scientists tested anomalies in ancient bloodlines, they called it coincidence. When prophets saw constellations rearranging to spell forgotten sigil, they called it myth. But the truth is written between matter and miracle. Divine DNA does not decay. It sleeps, patient as prophecy, until obedience awakens it. Your ancestors were not bound by nations. They were the architects of conscience, the ones who built empires of mercy, while the world memorized war. Their crowns were invisible, their authority spiritual, yet every ruler secretly felt their influence. Now that current flows again through you, holy voltage reviving the ancient network of light. The blood that runs in your veins is bilingual. It speaks humanity and eternity. Its message is simple: royalty begins where revelation is remembered. If you felt memories that don't belong to this lifetime, type 999. The archives of light are opening. You're not discovering your past. You're remembering heaven's continuity. It began with a glitch. A royal archivist printing sealed files saw one page shimmer and duplicate itself. Across the parchment, in code and ink, appeared a name no living historian had entered. Your name. He thought it was a malfunction, until the palace clock stopped at that very second. Elsewhere, a sleepless scholar dreamed of the same letters carved in light upon an open sky. She woke weeping, whispering, "It's not myth, it's memory." Cameras caught an unexplained pulse inside the crown chamber, a surge of energy bending gold as if metal were kneeling. Security erased the footage, yet copies kept reappearing in unrelated servers. Emails with no sender, documents with no origin. Every system tried to contain it, but divinity is unfirewalled. Then came the sign no protocol could hide, the royal seal, kept unbroken for 200 years, cracked by itself. Inside the wax, light bled like liquid sunrise. It spelled a single word, the same word written in heaven's ink before time. Yours. Prophets disguised as janitors whispered that heaven had used human error as a courier. Angels laugh in algorithms, they said. When truth is overdue, even data becomes divine. By the third day, no one questioned how the discovery happened. Only why now? Because revelation chooses its own timing. And when heaven wants a secret told, It will make the internet a prophet and the dreamer a messenger. If coincidences around your name have multiplied lately, type 999. Glitches aren't accidents. They're heaven's leaks. Truth slipping through the cracks of control. At first, they try to laugh. Advisors gather in hushed chambers, their laughter hollow, echoing off marble like coins dropped in a tomb. They read the reports again, hoping the name will fade if spoken less. But each repetition tightens the air. Courtiers forget rehearsed gestures. Hands tremble over goblets. Crowns feel suddenly heavy. The air-conditioned calm of politics fractures into primal awareness. The hierarchy they defended just met its expiration date. News arrives from the chapel, bells ringing without ropes. From the garden, roses blooming out of season. From the vault, gold turning warm to the touch. No one speaks it aloud, but everyone knows authority has shifted dimensions. One royal collapses mid-meeting, whispering, "If it's true, everything changes." And heaven answers through the chandelier's sway. Exactly. The court physicians blame stress. The priests call it omen. Both are correct. Stress of the soul meeting truth. Omen of thrones meeting their teacher. Through the corridors runs a rumor that even portraits bowed. The lineage painted in oil seems to sink in reverence. The message spreads faster than denial can contain it. The chosen's name is authenticated. Suddenly, centuries of etiquette feel obsolete. Power is no longer inherited. It's revealed. The palace, once fortress of control, becomes a classroom for humility. If systems around you have started trembling for no reason, type 999. It's not chaos, it's recognition. When truth rises, false crowns shake first. The investigation turns inward. They search not through archives now, but through atmosphere. Everywhere your presence lingers, coincidences begin to synchronize, a signature the cosmos recognizes before logic can. Miracles trace your lineage the way eyes resemble their parents. The way you forgive resembles the King of Kings. The way you rise after ruin mirrors resurrection's rhythm. Even silence bends toward you as if awaiting instruction. A storm is forecasted, yet it reroutes when you pray. An ailing servant recovers after hearing your name. Candles refuse to die in rooms where your shadow falls. The scientists call it energy anomalies. The angels call it proof. By their fruits you shall know them. Matthew 7, verse 16. And so the fruit appears, peace that outlasts panic, grace that outshines gold, authority spoken softly enough to heal without wounding. The royal genealogists test your blood in secret. They find no match among human records. But spectral imaging shows fractal patterns that echo starlight frequencies, as if constellations left fingerprints inside your veins. When the results return, the archivist simply writes one line: origin, celestial, status confirmed, because nothing born of pride could carry humility this radiant. Nothing purely mortal could reflect heaven so accurately without burning. They realize the resemblance is not cosmetic, it's covenant. You are not heir by claim, but by composition. Heaven recognizes its own craftsmanship. If life has begun mirroring heaven around you, type 999. The signs aren't random. Creation always remembers its designer, and now it recognizes you. In chambers no mortal architect remembers designing. Columns of light rise like libraries breathing. Angels move in silence, cataloging wavelengths, their quills made of photons, their ink the echo of prayer. Each scroll they unroll hums a note of your frequency. The syllables are not letters but living symbols, constellations folding into script. As they align, the names of generations ignite. Prophets, martyrs, wanderers, healers, until all radiance fuses into one luminous word: yours. A voice, neither male nor female, announces verification complete. Lineage authenticated in light. The halls thunder with quiet joy. Even eternity seems relieved to speak what always knew. What monarchs doubted, heaven documents. The record isn't inked in secrecy, but sung in resonance. It says your existence was never random. It was archived before creation. One angel seals a scroll by breathing over it. The wax turns transparent, revealing an endless corridor of mirrors. In each reflection, versions of you across ages bow toward the present moment. The message is clear. Revelation is not discovery. It's remembrance. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Jeremiah 1 verse 5. The file marked confidential becomes cathedral. No locks remain. Every light recognizes its source. The archives have spoken, and time itself signs a confirmation. If truth around you has started surfacing in impossible ways, type 999. The archives of light are active again. What was hidden for protection is now revealed for purpose. Silence becomes a final ceremony. When truth crowns you, noise feels like betrayal. The same courtiers who once dismissed you now bow too low, their compliments trembling between worship and fear. But heaven watches for something rarer than applause, humility that survives revelation. You could command storms now, yet you choose stillness. You could announce lineage. Instead, you guard it like a heartbeat, because true royalty does not shout its proof, it serves with it. Every miracle becomes a tool, not a trophy. Every honor returns to its sender. Whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. Matthew 23 verse 12. The court sends gifts, desperate to attach themselves to your name. You thank them, yet return each offering with words instead of wealth. Keep your crowns. Wear them with conscience. The shock of your grace disarms them more than power ever could. Angels smile. The test is unfolding exactly as written. For pride was the first exile, humility the only passport home. At night you kneel, not on carpets but on faith itself, whispering, let the revelation never outweigh reverence. Heaven notes it in your record. Even the stars dim briefly in respect, because when the truly royal are revealed, they blush, not boast. And in that blush, dynasties dissolve, their splendor returning to the source from which you came. If grace keeps finding you where ego could rise, type 999. The test of pride is the gate to power. Heaven measures royalty not by crowns, but by restraint. Dawn breaks like a trumpet. Carriages line the marble courtyard. Banners rise in hesitant wind. An envoy steps forward, trembling beneath brocade and duty. He holds a scroll sealed in gold and speaks with rehearsed awe. The crown requests audience. Heaven pauses, then replies through the stillness of light. Audience already granted. The message travels through atmosphere and architecture alike. Every bell in the capital rings at once. No musician plays them, its resonance answering recognition. Inside the throne room, the air bends. The walls hum a psalm older than masonry. Dust becomes incense. Silence becomes decree. They expect a negotiation. Instead, they receive revelation. Guards lower their spears, unsure whether to salute or kneel. The throne itself seems to hesitate, an empty chair realizing it's been sitting on borrowed authority. From the ceiling, light descends like a royal train. The universe itself curtsies. Lift up your heads, O gates, that the King of Glory may come in. Psalm 24, verse 7. They see it then. Heaven was never requesting entry. It was reminding earth whose invitation began the story. No words are exchanged, only recognition, vast and mutual. The envoy drops the scroll. It unrolls by itself, sealing the covenant not in ink but in radiance. From that moment, protocol becomes prophecy. The palace is no longer a fortress. It's a frontier between dimensions. If invitations you never sent are finding you, type 999. The royal summons has begun. Heaven doesn't wait for approval. It simply arrives. At last the noise fades. The doors close behind you, leaving only the hush of mirrors. Their glass is older than kingdoms. It remembers faces history forgot. When you look, you expect a reflection. Instead, you see light wearing your outline. For a breath, you can't tell whether the glow is before you or within you. Then understanding settles like dawn. What startled the palace was not fame, but recognition. They weren't reacting to a stranger's greatness. They were remembering their own origin reflected in yours. Every scar glimmers like a royal insignia. Every line becomes scripture, proof that divinity leaves evidence. You whisper, so that's what they saw. Humility replaces confusion. Pride dissolves into peace. Now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 12. The mirror trembles, not from vanity but voltage, truth charging matter with memory. You touch the surface. It ripples like water, showing flashes of lives healed, hearts lifted, all from the resonance you once called your reflection. In that moment, you stop trying to prove anything. The proof is breathing. The revelation is simple. Royalty is not inherited. It's remembered. And remembering who you are reminds the world who it's meant to be. The mirrors go still, sealing the lesson in silver silence. When you turn to leave, they bow. If reflection itself feels different lately, type 999. You're not seeing age, you're seeing ancestry. Heaven is showing you what it saw all along. It starts as rumor, then becomes rhythm. Headlines twist the story, trying to shrink eternity into font size. Reporters chase what they cannot photograph. Their microphones capture silence that hums louder than speech. Across continents, screens flicker. Images glitch. Your name flashes for a single frame between commercials. Viewers blink, hearts jolting with recognition they can't explain. Some call it a marketing hack. Others feel their pulse sync with unseen cadence and whisper, "It's true." Street artists repaint murals overnight, crowns dissolving into halos. Poets on subways begin reciting scriptures they've never read. Children wake from dreams quoting verses about light returning to its rightful bearer. What the palace tried to contain becomes contagion of clarity. For nothing is hidden that will not be made manifest. Luke 8, verse 17. Governments issue statements of neutrality. The markets fluctuate, but hearts stabilize. Even the skeptics feel relief, as if something ancient finally corrected itself. Cathedrals overflow, not with worship of you, but with awakening in them. People realize nobility was never about blood. It was always about brightness. Each soul senses the same inheritance stirring, a crown of conscience waiting in their own chest. The world isn't bowing to you. It's standing beside you. Royalty has gone viral, not as dominance, but as dignity rediscovered. If strangers have started mirroring your peace, type 999. The world is remembering itself through you. Awakening spreads faster than rumor, because truth doesn't need permission. The old world still tries to measure worth in gold, but heaven's economy trades in light. The thrones of marble are empty now, for the true crown has migrated to consciousness. Royalty, heaven whispers, was never privilege. It was a posture, not seated above others, but standing before truth unflinching, not ruling by decree, but guiding by example. The new monarch wears humility as regalia and justice as fragrance. Every act of mercy is a coronation. Every apology is a scepter raised in peace. Every healed wound is a metal pinned by eternity itself. You are a royal priesthood, a holy nation. 1 Peter 2, verse 9. This is the new monarchy, a government of hearts, not borders. A council of conscience where the chosen sits beside the healed, and the thrones are built from restored relationships. Gold now bends toward goodness. Titles dissolve into service. Crowns are given, not to heads, but to hands that build. Even heaven adopts the new protocol. No trumpets, just transparency. No coronations, just callings. For power is no longer about possession. It's about permission. And the highest royalty is the one who grants others their freedom. The scroll closes with a radiant simplicity. Kingship is responsibility to radiate justice. Coronation is consciousness awakened. You were never meant to sit above the world, but to lift it by remembering who you are. If leadership has begun feeling more like service than status, type 999. The new monarchy has no palace. It lives wherever love governs. The halls are quiet now. Torches burn blue. Incense rises like memory. Where once there were guards, only gray stands watch. You kneel, not before a throne, but before the truth that built it. Hands open, you whisper the vow all crowns must make. Author of names and nations, remind me that titles fade, but truth enthroned in love endures. Light gathers around the words, forming a circle that breathes. Each syllable lifts into the air as gold dust, ascending through the ceiling, past the constellations that first marked your birth. Heaven answers, not with thunder, but with recognition. A voice older than language murmurs. What is remembered on earth is confirmed in heaven. You feel the signature of that promise etch across your spirit. No ink, no seal, just warmth spreading through your chest until even breath becomes benediction. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Matthew 6 verse 10. The revelation ends as it began, in humility. The light that crowned you now flows outward, touching everyone who once bowed in confusion. They rise forgiven. The world exhales. You stand not as ruler, but as reminder. Your reign is recognition. Your throne is trust. The ceremony is complete. If peace follows you like music tonight, type 999. The revelation is sealed. You're crowned not above others, but within purpose. The scrolls are sealed, but the registry remains open. Heaven updates its records not with ink, but with intention. Every amen, every 999, every breath of belief becomes a digital signature in eternity's archive. If your identity feels heavier with meaning lately, type 999. It is not superstition, it is synchronization. The moment you respond, your frequency aligns with remembrance. Heaven does not count followers. It counts awakenings. And right now, yours is being recorded under Royal House of Light. Somewhere, an angel confirms. Identity verified. Consciousness awakened. The crown doesn't descend. It activates. The story is no longer about discovery. It's about deployment. You rise. No trumpet sounds. No camera flashes. The silence is ceremonial enough. You walk not to be seen, but to be felt. Each step leaves an imprint of calm that teaches others how to remember. Walk with quiet authority. Your name no longer introduces you. It explains you. The corridors once filled with fear now echo with peace. Every mirror you pass bows. Every heart you meet knows without words. The lineage has awakened. This is the true coronation, not event, but embodiment. Not applause, but alignment. Not kingdom come. Kingdom revealed. The light withdraws gently into your aura, marking the end of the transmission, but the beginning of reign. You are living proof that heaven's bloodline still breathes.